Hey everyone. So I want to start this video off by going over the layout of this video. It took quite a long time. I didn't expect it to take 3 or 4 days to do it. And the main reason for it was I had to go do a lot of research and searching. And actually it didn't have to take so long, but this is actually what happened. So I started off by creating, I'm sure you've all heard about Manus AI before, so I don't have to really go through it. But here's the story. I touched up on Manus AI, if only I can find it. There we go. All right, I'm not logged in, but this is Manus AI. I needed a script to start off my new story, and I used Manus AI to give him a guideline to create the story. Um, the guideline I created enabled it to do the story for me, and then I asked it to cut it into different scenes. On the way of creating the scenes, I wanted to let it do images for me, and it only could do a few images until it said no, and the images weren't that great. And I wanted to do it in a specific style, so it couldn't do it that. So I thought, hey, listen here, I'm looking for a free alternative. What can I do? Before I actually went to ChatGPT, I actually went to, lo and behold, I went off to Copilot for all things. And in Copilot, I asked you to do the text and the images for me. And as you can see on the screen right here, this is the story of chapter 1. And it went clearly ahead, gave me a breakdown of everything I needed into scenes, 4 scenes, and then it uploaded the images. This happened on for at least 2 days, where I was able to create something like 30 photos, 30 images, which is surprising, seeing that Copilot isn't only free, but it was also able to create me really good images. And it had no problem with creating the story for me. But then at the end of the day, uh, for some reason, I needed voiceovers. Well, I needed to break up the chapters for some reason. And here, as you can see, is one image that was created for me using Copilot. Actually, not bad. Not exactly the style I wanted, but it was good enough. So as you can see it, me saying here, slide 3, please. It had some hiccups, slide 4, please. Create slide 4 for me, please. Slide 4 was just, when I said create the slide for me, it would just mean the image. And as you can see, it says here, I actually can create this image for you. Feel free to ask for something else, though. Then I had to ask it again and again and again and again and again. And eventually it gave me the thing. And then I asked for slide 6 and I had to ask again, couldn't do it. Let me know, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up with all these problems with Copilot, but the story came out. So to initiate the story and get a full idea of how to put the story together, I thought Copilot could do it for me, seeing that it was already doing a great job for free. In the end, I settled for Canva. And Canva has a pretty good free plan. And here I was able to log in and create my story. So the story that I created, and you'll see later, is actually all done in Canva. The images were created from Copilot, the story from Manus, and why is Kimi here? Well, I tried Kimi, but the story didn't work out so good. Maybe the coding is better. And as you can see, I'm getting a blank screen here. Why? I don't know, but that's how it is. So Canva came to the rescue, and I used their free version to create the slides, to create the AI voiceover, and to create the complete thing. Once it was complete, and once this introduction is complete, I am doing the whole thing in Kdenlive. Now you're wondering, why would I create the story? Well, actually, this very computer that I'm using right now is an HP laptop that I bought for $150 secondhand, unused apparently. But I decided now to first use it. It came in Windows 11, H22 dash, I don't know, whatever. But after I tried this, I wanted to put something else on it. And I tried Zorin OS, the Linux version, the free version. I installed that. But I deleted one of the partitions and I deleted the main partition. And for the first day or two, I was trying to configure or try to think about how could I get Windows 11 back on it. And that's where the problem started. Because I wiped out the entire hard drive, Windows couldn't detect the boot up drive. It couldn't detect the hard drive. So when I put a USB stick in, it could only detect one thing and one thing only. That was the USB drive. It couldn't detect the NVMe drive that was on the machine. And so began the process of trying to figure out how to reinstall Windows. I thought about putting Zorin OS back on because it was working fine. This HP laptop has a touchscreen, so I wanted to make sure that the touchscreen could work. I needed to get back into Windows 11. And strangely enough, the system that actually helped me was Ubuntu. Now, everybody doesn't like Ubuntu, but in this case, Ubuntu came to the rescue. And I was able to format the drive properly so I could get Ubuntu live ISO working fine. And then through the live ISO, it was able to detect the hard drive properly. And what I did was, to get Windows running again, was to load the Windows drivers. So I had to download each driver from the HP website, and that took a day and a half. And once I had downloaded the drivers for Windows 11, because Ubuntu could see all the drivers, they could load all the drivers no problem. I had no issues with Ubuntu. The problem was Windows. So once I had used the Ubuntu Live CD or the Live ISO, I could download the drivers, store it on a USB stick, and then go back to the Windows 11 installation, load the drivers, and step by step then go through the process of installing Windows 11. It wasn't easy at the beginning, but it was good enough for me to do it. And now, because I'm doing everything on this Windows 11 machine, you can see that the fruits of the labor is that loading the drivers actually worked. Windows 11 is back on the machine, and I can record and do my installations. So there you have it. This story comes from my own experience of having deleted everything, every partition you could find on the hard drive not being detected through Windows, having to do the Windows installation again by downloading the Windows 11 drivers off the HP website, reinstalling Windows once the drivers was done, and there you have it. Am I going to use Linux again? Of course. And maybe that is in my next video. So thanks. Watch this whole animated version. And I know there are some mistakes because obviously not all the images were correct and not all the voiceovers were correct. But it gives you an idea of the experience I went through.
The server room was Naughty Codes' sanctuary. A cool, constant hum vibrated through the floor, a mechanical mantra that soothed his restless mind. But today, the rhythm broke. A hesitant shuffle. A shadow in the doorway. Alex, barely out of his teen, stood clutching a battered laptop like a shield against the chaos he couldn't solve. I have a problem. Naughty Codes turned, curiosity blooming in his eyes. No judgment, no rush. Just a quiet invitation.
Problems are what we do here. Tell me everything.
Alex's words tumbled out. Dual boot, Ubuntu, Windows, NVMe. Partitions that refused to behave. He'd tried everything. It felt like the laptop was actively fighting him. Alex, I'm trying to set up a dual boot system, Ubuntu and Windows, but the installer can't see the NVMe drive. I've tried everything. It's like the laptop's actively fighting me. Naughty Codes leaned in, no need for words. His gaze said it all, a silent promise of understanding, and maybe resolution.
Naughty Codes listened patiently, his gaze unwavering, as Alex recounted his attempts and failures. When Alex finished, Naughty Codes nodded slowly, a thoughtful frown on his face. Naughty Codes. Okay, Alex, first things first. Does your BIOS even see this NVMe drive?
He took the laptop, fingers dancing over the keyboard with practiced ease, navigating BIOS menus. Alex peered over his shoulder, a flicker of hope in his eyes. Alex, it does. Naughty Codes. Good. That rules out a physical connection issue. He rebooted the laptop with the Windows USB, pressed Shift+F, and summoned the black screen. To Naughty Codes, it was familiar. To Alex, daunting. This is where we talk directly to the disk. He typed disk part, list disk. Alex held his breath, but the NVMe SSD was conspicuously absent.
Still nothing. It only shows the USB drive.
Let's try list volume and WMIC. Naughty Codes leaned back, a new idea forming. Windows needs the right instructions, he explained. Alex's eyes widened as understanding dawned.
Try DR vload with the right NVMe driver.
Alex sits hunched over a laptop, frustration on his face. The screen shows a failed installation message.
Why won't this thing work?
Naughty Codes stands behind Alex, arms crossed, watching silently. His eyes glow faintly in the shadows. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. Naughty Codes just watched, like he'd seen this before. Beads of sweat, clenched jaw, eyes scanning error logs. Alex kept trying, kept hoping, maybe this time. Alex glances back at Naughty Codes. No words, just a nod, silent support, unspoken trust. He didn't need answers, just someone who understood. He dove into the BIOS, searching for what wasn't there. If it's hidden, maybe it's not gone. Buried deep in setup, a clue. Alex's brows furrow, unsure. His posture shows confusion mixed with hope. Alex leaned closer, searching for understanding.
What's it mean?
Naughty Codes leans back from the laptop, thoughtful expression, arms slightly open as an idea forms. Windows needs the right instructions. A translator, that's all it is. Alex's eyes widen with sudden understanding, posture shifting forward. And just like that, it clicked. The laptop screen displays disk part list disk with no NVMe drive detected. Glowing blue text contrasts with darkness.
Still missing. It should be here, but it's not.
Alex slumps, shoulders heavy. Expression, disappointed, tense. Background, server lights dim and distant.
Another dead end? 7 tries. Still invisible.
Calm and focused, Naughty Codes types alternate commands. Facial glow from screen, fingers steady. No panic, just precision. Let's try something smarter. Naughty Codes holds up a plain USB stick with a sly smile. You need the Linux guns. The HP laptop screen transitions to the Ubuntu Live desktop. Clean, calm interface with soft glows. Alex leans in, intrigued. This bypasses everything. Close up on terminal commands. dd if equals, dev, 0, and ypefsa. Executing. A faint ripple effect radiates from the drive icon. Blank slate initiated, giving it amnesia. Naughty Codes opens a terminal window, lines of white on black text scroll. Alex points at dev, NVMe0N1. Alex looks surprised. It was always there. Linux sees it perfectly.
Alex rebooting the laptop, a look of excited anticipation. In the foreground, Naughty Codes nods approvingly. Time for rediscovery. This time it'll show up. Command prompt flashes a new result. List disk now shows NVMe drive listed as disk 1. Glowing text on dark background. Detected. There it is.
Slight smirk, hands still on keys. Calm confidence. He knew it would. We're in. Close up on Naughty Codes' hands as he begins typing a custom batch script. Command lines flow. Disk part, select disk, create partition. His eyes focused, background dark. One command at a time. Let's guide it, piece by piece. Stylized cutaway showing the laptop's BIOS chip faintly lit. A subtle animation-like effect where script commands ripple into the hardware interface. Behind every line, a spark. Not magic, just precision. Alex kneeling beside Naughty Codes, watching the screen and fingers, taking mental notes. Expression, focused, soaking it in. Learning the language. He wasn't just watching, he was understanding. Laptop displays lines executing. Create partition primary, format fs equals ntfs quick, assign. Naughty Codes nods subtly, posture relaxed. The ritual begins. Structure, purpose. Now it's real.
A stylized progress bar glowing against a black interface. The phrase, formatting disk, barely visible. Reflected light dances on Alex's focused face. Something's happening. No turning back.
Alex gripping the laptop sides gently, steady and resolved. Expression, no longer confused. He's ready. This is his moment. He knows what comes next. Alex clicks through the Windows setup screen, selecting the NVMe drive now formatted and ready. Determined eyes, slight smile.
This one's mine. No more guesses. Just action.
Dimly lit server room, screen displays NVMe drive now visible. Alex's subtle shift in posture, relief washing over him. Calm after the storm. Resolution.
I think I just want Windows on it, he says, smiling slightly.
Close-up of Naughty Codes, nodding beside Alex. A glance exchanged, lit by the glow of monitors. Establishes trust, highlights the theme of starting fresh. A clean slate is often the best way to go. Zoom in on USB being plugged in, BIOS navigation. Boot selection, loading the Windows installer. Transition from fear to familiarity, Alex is no longer intimidated. Installer screen with list of partitions, Ubuntu, swap, EFI, etc. Cursor clicking, delete, with each partition fading. Clearing the canvas, artistic metaphor drives visual style. Perfect, Naughty Codes says. Alex reacts with quiet pride. Cut away to command prompt window. Shift plus F pressed, disk part typed out. Naughty Codes explains the advanced method, disk part clean plus convert GPT. For future tutorials or deeper user decisions, include but keep optional. Windows logo loading, progress bar filling. Soft hum of servers, blinking lights reflect success.
A silent cheer, Alex glances around, satisfied. Windows install bar begins to load. Glowing animation style effect. Background quiet, focused. Transferring power. We built the path. Now it walks.
Naughty Code steps slightly away, arms folded, watching calmly. Lighting highlights Alex in foreground. His job is done. This part's yours. The laptop, once a source of frustration, now hummed with quiet efficiency. A fresh install, a fresh start.
It worked. Thank you, Naughty Codes. I don't know what I would have done without you.
Naughty Code saw it, that spark in Alex's eyes. The confidence born from solving the unsolvable. He glanced at his shirt. Naughty Codes. It used to be a mystery. A name, a brand, maybe even a joke, but now, it meant something. He wasn't breaking rules just to rebel. He was solving puzzles others gave up on. Finding grace in the gritty layers of logic. You did most of the work, Alex. I just pointed you in the right direction. The real learning comes from doing. Naughty Codes winked. Sometimes, you just need a translator. He handed the laptop back, a silent challenge in his gaze. The server room hummed on.
I think I've got it now.
He handed the laptop back, a silent challenge in his gaze. The server room hummed on.
I'm ready.
And so they stood, two IT guys, bonded by code and curiosity. Ready for whatever came next.